myself a green smoothie today, and I used my Ninja this time instead of my Bullet. I made an extra so that I can have that tomorrow. The reason I used the NutriBullet is really good for making a smoothie for yourself for right now, but what I've found is that when I put it in a mason jar and put it in the refrigerator for the next day, or make several and freeze them, that the texture is just kind of weird, like it's too thick or something. It's kind of, I don't know, I just don't really like it that way. It's better, the NutriBullet is actually better, because you can even see that there's some greens that didn't get chopped up with the Ninja. It chops up most of them, but not the way the NutriBullet does. But anyway, I decided to go ahead because I was going to make an extra one. I'm going up to Flagstaff today, so otherwise I would just spend some time making a whole bunch. I'll do those tomorrow. But for February, my goal is to drink a green smoothie every day, and I know that I won't do that if I don't make several batches, because otherwise I'll just kind of be like, it's easier to have a bowl of cereal. And so anyway, that's kind of my goal. And so if you haven't seen other videos where I make my smoothies, I use for a single one, I use a cup and a half of liquid. So I use 1 cup unsweetened almond milk. This one is vanilla flavored, but unsweetened. You can use water too. Also, I use a banana, and then 2 cups of another kind of fruit, which I like to use berries, so I use mixed berries. And then I put in a couple of handfuls of greens, and so I used kale today for this, or was it kale or Swiss chard? I don't know. It needs to be a mild green, and so kale, Swiss chard, spinach, anything like that. And spinach, of course, is going to break down easier. The one thing I forgot to do today, which would have made it so that these greens weren't, still intact, is that you put in the liquid and your greens and then blend it first. And then you add the banana and your other 2 cups of fruit and blend those, and then the greens tend to be broken down more. But it's been so long since I've used my NutriBullet, my Ninja, probably over a year, and so I'd kind of forgotten until I realized that it wasn't breaking down the way it should. So anyway, that's my goal for February. Hi guys, so it's Thursday, February 21st, and as I mentioned in the previous clip, I'm up in Flagstaff. Sorry, this is high elevation, so I had to pop my ears. It's a little after 2:30. I am helping my mom at the gallery tonight. Normally I would come see my dad on Friday because John's off work, but my mom needed my help at the gallery every 3 months. The wall artists move their stuff to a different place, and so they call it a wall move. It's so nobody gets, like, no one person gets the prime location, and everybody gets an equal opportunity for their work to be seen really well in different places. So every 3 months that happens, and so I help her. So I decided I would go ahead and come up early because the wall move isn't until 5 o'clock. And so I thought I'd go see my dad, but then there was this issue with Monica. So my mom is working at the gallery today, and so I just went over and left Monica with my mom's dog, Anna, and I'll show you a clip of them playing together. Anna used to be the crazy one with Vanessa and Chloe, and now Anna's sort of like, hey, you are really crazy. But they have fun. Anna did nip at her though when Monica got too hyper, and it hurt Monica's feelings. But yeah, so that was nice to be able to just go, and I brought Monica's bed and put it in Anna's crate, because Anna doesn't have to be in a crate when she's alone, because she's probably, I don't know how old she is now, 10, 8, something like that. So, all that to say, I'm going over to see my dad for a little bit, and then I'm going to come back and meet up with my mom. We're going to go over to the gallery to do the wall move, and then after that, we're going to have dinner, and then I'll go back to her house to get Monica and head home. John works until 9 o'clock tonight. This is the last. He's been working all month. He's been working a shift where he's doing Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, from 8 in the morning until 9 at night. And there was the tech who normally has that shift had knee surgery, and so she took the month off. And he is coming. This is coming to a close, this shift. So I'll probably get home just a little bit before he does. Anyway, yeah, that's really it. Not doing much of anything else today. Monica playing with her Aunt Anna, my mom's dog. Come on, Anna. Aunt Anna's very fun, isn't she? Except she can jump on a couch and you can't. She plays better than a kitty. Yeah, she knows how to play. She doesn't hit like the kitties hit. And it's like, yeah, I remember when I used to be like you. That's just crazy. So I just left my dad's place, and when I got there, the guy from hospice was there doing, they do a monthly evaluation, and they're going to complete the paperwork to dismiss him from hospice care. He's gained 4 pounds just since his last assessment, so in the last month, which means he's probably gained 6, 10, he's gained more than 10 pounds. Since he's got pants that are too tight, that started out baggy and are now snug on him. So yeah, it's just, you know, he's only lived at this new place since the end of October. So it's, you know, November, December, January, 3 months. He's doing so well. And so anyway, so his blood work is good, and you know, all this, everything is good, and before he was just in this steady decline. So that was exciting. Really good news to hear. He just looks so much better. Anyway, so what's kind of funny about it is, you know, at the place where he was before, which was like living at a 5-star hotel, and he ordered his food, and he always ordered the same thing, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And it was like eating at this restaurant. The food was okay. They actually had a chef that was really good, and the food was great for a while, but then it was just kind of okay. At this place, it's nothing special. It's just kind of basic family fare, and but he's, you know, he doesn't have a choice of what he's eating, and so he's getting good nutrition, and clearly it's working for him. So that was good. It was really good to see him too. Dinner tonight is another one from HelloFresh. This is grilled cheese and veggie jumble. And when it says grilled cheese, it's not like a grilled cheese sandwich. It's actually something called grilling cheese that you just cook in a pan to brown it up, and then it just goes with the rest of this meal that has onions, sweet potatoes, avocado, tomato, and then like a chimichurri sauce, and that tastes really good so far. So right now I'm waiting for the onions and sweet potatoes to roast in the oven, and then I'll mix it all up. And tomorrow's going to be these baby portobello and orchette primavera with asparagus and bell pepper. And then we have tacos with the meat seitan, which is the non-meat, meat-like stuff. I'm not terribly crazy about it, but oh well. This comes with a kiwi salsa and lime crema, which sounds really good. Oh, and once again, if you are interested in trying out HelloFresh, I'm going to put a link in the space below for you, so you can, if you sign up with a link, you get a discount, and then if you then sign up, then I get a little kickback. And one more thing is, if you want to try a free week, send me an email at busybeingjen@gmail.com and let me know that, and then I will send you a link where you can get a free week of HelloFresh. Hey guys, it is, what day is it? Wednesday, February 7th. I'm up in Flagstaff. It's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I have been up here since this morning. I was planning to come see my dad one day this week, and then saw on my calendar that I had an appointment to get my hair done, which I had done just a little while ago. I'm happy with it, and thought that would be good. And then there's a Bible study that started up at my old church, and it's on Wednesdays, and so I was thinking, oh well, I mean, it lines up great for this week with my hair appointment, but why don't I just make one of the days of the week that I come up to see my dad a Wednesday, so that I can go to this Bible study. We haven't been connected to a church for several months now. We just never really connected at that church we were going to, and just after a year of being there, just didn't even have the beginnings of friendships or anything. And so we've been kind of searching for a new church, and so in the meantime I just thought, well, you know, rather than just sitting at home and sort of feeling lonely, I might as well just go to this women's Bible study at my old church. And so that's what I did. So I went there this morning, and then after that was over, I went over to get my hair done, which was always nice and also fun, because my hairstylist is the one, she and her husband went on the Baltic cruise that my husband and I went on, and so she's, you know, she's a good friend. And so I did that, and then I ran some errands, and then now I am heading over to see my dad. So I will not be getting back to Flagstaff. I will not be getting back to Camp Verde until tonight. But yeah, it's been a good day. It's a beautiful day. It's a little bit worrisome that it's so nice in Flagstaff. I say that just because, I mean, there's no snow. They've had 2 snows. One was kind of a dusting, and the other one was a, I don't know, I think my mom said there were 5 inches at her house. And whenever that happens, it means that fire season is going to be bad. Yeah, just because there's just, you know, lack of water. Vegetation is kind of dried out, and so it can be bad. So, but March is Flagstaff's biggest snow month, and so there is still hope for snow. But anyway, it's a lovely day up here. It's 53 degrees and sunny, and it's not windy, and which is unusual for this time of year. Usually it's pretty windy, and it just absolutely lovely. So anyway, my dad called me as I was leaving my hair appointment, because I didn't tell him that I was coming to see him, and I was like, hey, I'm on my way over, and he was just like, really, when? So that's kind of fun. I usually like to go and surprise him. Anyway, if I tell him I'm coming, then he kind of obsesses about it, calls me and says, you know, weren't you were supposed to be here today? No, Dad, that's not until, you know, like not until Thursday. Then the next day, weren't you supposed to be here today? No, Dad, that's until Thursday. So I tend to just surprise him, and so, but anyway, so he only has to obsess about me coming for an hour and a half. But I should be there in just a few minutes. But yeah, it's been a good day up here, and John is not working today, so he's doing the whole day with the dog, and we have started to do crate training. You know, Monica was doing really good with going out. I would take her out to potty after she would get up from sleeping, or after she ate, or after playtime, and then usually a few other times. And then she was doing really well. She hasn't had a number 2 accident in the house since the second day we had her. But she'll like just be standing there in the kitchen with us. We will have just taken her out to potty like 10 minutes before. And then she did this last night, or not last night, 2 nights ago. And then she's just standing there and she just squats, looking right at us, you know, like, oh yeah, I had a teaspoon of pee, figured I'd let it out. So, you know, I just thought clearly she's not getting this. So the whole thing with crate training, it seems miserable, and it is hard to put a dog in a crate for so long. I mean, my dogs had crates that we called their house, and they loved them. And she has one in her bedroom, in our bedroom, that she sleeps in at night. We lock her in there. But my old dogs, just loved their houses, and it was just a safe place for them and comfortable, and so she doesn't hate being in her crate. But when you do crate training for housebreaking a dog, you leave them in for like several hours, and then you take them out to potty, and then you play with them for a little bit, and then you put them back in their crate for a couple of hours, and then you take them out, and then you know, so there's this whole thing. But the majority of their day is in the crate. And even though it sounds, you know, for me it's hard, like, sorry little girl, you have to be in there. But you know, because like the other day I had her out playing, and she was playing just fine with a toy, and then she just went into the kitchen. And so I was like, Monica, and I went and got her, and she had peed. So so the whole idea is that they never get the chance to pee in the house, ever. And then after 2 weeks, 1 to 2 weeks, they say, it's done, that the dog is housebroken by that point. And so I don't know how that'll be, but it's worth a shot. So we've got a schedule that I got from Pinterest, I found on Pinterest. And so it's got a really specific schedule for when she eats and when she plays and when she goes in her crate and all of that. And so John has been left to follow that plan today. And yesterday was the first day we started to do it, and I was home with her. So yeah, so that's his job today. Also wanted to mention, I got some new sunglasses. I got these from readers.com, and what I like about them is that they have a bifocal. So I have a +2, so they're just no vision correction at all, except for this little bifocal. And so readers.com has a whole bunch of different, you can get just straight readers where the whole thing is like a +2, or you can get them where there's no vision correction and just a bifocal. And they have regular ones, and they have sunglasses, and they're, I think this was only like 20 bucks, 24 bucks. So check it out, readers.com. Hi you guys, it is Friday, February 9th. I'm on my way up to Flagstaff. My dad had a fall last night, and the lady who runs the assisted living place called me last night. She couldn't get a hold of my mom. We finally got a hold of her, but anyway, they put him into bed, and we're kind of checking him out, and they called hospice and had them come over to do an evaluation. He was not in excruciating pain and didn't show classic signs of a hip break, which doesn't necessarily mean that it didn't break, because he's really stiff from Parkinson's, so it's hard to see. Like usually if there's a hip break, the foot turns out, and so his foot was not turning out, but he's also super stiff. And then also he was in pain, said it hurt a lot, but he wasn't in excruciating pain. And they said that, you know, people with dementia don't experience pain the same way that other people do. So we made a decision last night to just wait until this morning to see how things are going, and today it's not good. So he's in much more pain. He's not willing to. Oh, last night he was also able to bear weight. So when they got him up, and then they put him in his wheelchair, and then they had to move him from his wheelchair to his bed, and he helps them by, he's able to stand up while they help to
maneuver him into bed, and so last night he was able to do that, and today he was, he says he can stand. He also says he could drive, if we let him, but he actually won't. He's unwilling to bear weight, and so that's kind of an indication. So they're calling 911 and having him taken over to the hospital. That's where I'm going right now. And then, it could just be that it's like a little hairline fracture, or maybe just a bad bruise. And maybe they'll just send him home with Tylenol. I don't know. But it also could be a fracture, and in that case, he really does need to be checked out. And so, my mom is down in Phoenix, and she canceled everything for today, and she's just waiting to hear from me. And if it is a break, she's coming back up. Yeah, I called my brother to update him on everything. So, yeah, that's kind of the plan. I have no other, obviously, no other plans to do anything up in Flagstaff today, but just help out my dad. I'm probably about maybe 20 minutes outside of Flagstaff right now, so I will let you guys know. Hi guys, boy, long day. It is 3:30. I've been at the hospital since 10. My dad did break his hip. He broke the ball of the femur, and it deprived that ball of blood, and so it's that part of the bone is just dead. So he needs a partial hip replacement, which is, there's definitely risk to any surgery, and this is certainly risky because he's an old man. And so they're running lots of tests right now to see if his heart can withstand surgery, because if it can't, then, and sorry, the light changed. I was talking to my brother and now I'm in a different location, but anyway, because if it can't withstand surgery, the hospital is just going to say that's not even a choice. We're not sending somebody into surgery who, really can't do it. So they had done an EKG on him when I left. The cardiologist was taking a look at that. They checked his pacemaker, which was working famously, and if everything goes according to plan and he can withstand the surgery, then he'll have it tomorrow at 9 o'clock. The other option was to have him not have surgery, which means he would be completely wheelchair bound. I mean, he's in a wheelchair a lot, but he can stand up. He can sometimes use a walker on good days. He can stand up to sort of help the caregivers move him from his wheelchair into bed, they hold on to him while he stands himself up, that kind of thing. I think it makes him feel like he has some level of independence. But anyway, so if they didn't do the surgery, he'd be completely wheelchair bound, could never put weight on that leg, and he would always have pain, and basically the broken hip would never heal. So he would just live with a broken hip for the rest of his life. They would, of course, give him medication to manage the pain, but they also said that pain medication messes with people with dementia and makes them really confused. And so, I explained everything. I really wanted my dad to make the decision, but John and my mom and I and my brother, both of my brothers, were, wanting to weigh in on it. But I explained the options to my dad. I had him repeat them back to me. And he was saying, well, what does John think I should do? And I said, well, John thinks that you need to do what you want to do. And so, although I already knew what John thought he should do. And then, so after I explained everything, and then I talked about, okay, there's a real risk that, you're an old guy. There's a real risk that you could not make it through surgery. But if you do make it through surgery, then here's what life will be like afterwards, and here's what life would be like afterwards if you decide not to have surgery. And he said he wants surgery, and that's what all of us think, because what we're thinking is, if we don't choose surgery, we're doing that because we're afraid he'll die, but we're doing it because knowing that what we're saying is that we're okay with him living the rest of his life in pretty bad pain. And I don't know, my dad's okay with the risk, and so I'll find out if they say his heart is strong enough. So if it is, then it's tomorrow at 9 o'clock, and I'll be going back up to Flagstaff, bringing Monica with me. John has his CT exam tomorrow, and so I'll be bringing her up with me and leaving her over at my mom's house, and then we can go back and forth and let her out. But that's kind of how it's going to go. So yeah, I got a chance to pray with my dad today. I asked him if he wanted me to pray with him, and so yeah, but he was in good spirits, so that was good, even though he was in pain.